They cannot offend you because they know not what they say. Live from the Jim Beam Cold Storage Studio in the heart of Julio's. Well, it's the Liquor Talking with your hosts, Ryan Maloney and Spirits Medium, Randall Bird.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to It's the Liquor Talking right here on WCRN AM 830. And we are broadcasting, yes, live again, our first show of 2026.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
It feels like 2 months in, but
it does really. The gang's all back. Everybody made it back from vacations and travel and everything like that. We're all back together again. Johnny's over there making sure everything runs smoothly. And of course, we have brought in the grape one himself. El Rey.
Yes.
All right, enough of that nonsense. It's the wine of the week. We're going to jump into 2026 like nothing happened.
all right.
Like 2025 didn't even exist.
Right.
We're jumping into 2026.
And then right into dry January.
Yeah. No. So just so everybody knows, it's Rye January.
Rye. Okay.
My hat name happens to be Rye, but it's Rye January, not Dry January. Although we get something like that.
R-Y.
W?
Rye January.
No.
Oh,
R-Y-E.
Okay.
Rye January. But
How
anyway.
does the grape one survive in the driest of all months? That's what I have questions.
It wasn't
about.
easy.
It's not. It still isn't easy. All right, Ray. What do you got for us today?
Okay. So I thought today, to start off the new year, Ryan, we do kind of a wine that I think is phenomenal. It just doesn't get shopped because people don't understand it. So
Sound like Randall?
Yeah.
something like that. So basically, this is a white wine from Sicily,
Okay.
and more specifically from the eastern part of Sicily, from the very famous Mount Etna. So
Oh, yes.
on the slopes of Mount Etna, where
That's where the
soils
wild
are-
things are, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken, my literature, the wild things are on Mount Etna. No.
Yeah.
All right.
So the big thing about Mount Etna is the volcanic soils,
Mhm.
which really impart into the wine. We get this incredible freshness, incredible minerality to the wine. So today I'm going to show a wine that is made from indigenous grapes of Sicily. One of them is Caracante. Have you heard of that?
Oh.
Caracante.
Oh, the old.
Did you have a fight with him one time?
That old chestnut. Yeah.
Caracante is the white grape varietal of Mount Etna. In this case here, it's going to be about 60% of the blend. The other grape is a grape called Catalado. And Catalado, again, is an indigenous grape of Sicily, specifically Mount Etna. So the producer is Nicosia. It's a family-owned establishment that goes back to, believe it or not, about 1898. And it's still family-owned, very important to me because family-owned, they pay a little bit more attention to
Right.
detail than big conglomerates. So when you taste this wine, what are you going to expect? Well,
My palate to get wet. One.
citrus, specifically citrus zest, a little grapefruit in here, apple,
I got a little cantaloupe. Is that
a
right?
little melon. Yeah,
A little melon?
yeah. Little hint of peach there as well. The beauty of this wine is that
Good
it can be
acidity.
consumed obviously with food, great with seafood, shellfish, sushi, but you could also have it just as a glass of white wine. To me, it's really, really delicious. Elegant, fresh, nice mineral.
Yeah, really. It has minerality, Randall.
Yeah.
Hates that term.
Well, I mean, it's just, no, I just think that.
Which is weird
people
because he's licked rock. I've
minerality.
seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
I am a
Rock liquor.
rock liquor.
But
But yeah.
2024 vintage. The producer is Nicosia. It's called Etna Bianco because it's white, and it is a regular price of $21.99.
Okay.
Today and all of next week, it'll be 20% off.
Nice. Under $20 for this. This would be
You were
great.
bringing something new that you said people don't know. Is that the area, the name of the wine, the varietal of the grape?
Even
What
where
is
it's from?
making this so
Both.
weird? Okay.
Both. So
What-
people, when they think of Sicily, they're thinking of a red grape called Nero Diavola, which is a big grape in Sicily, or a white grape varietal called Grillo, another one that's terrific. But people just don't think of the Mount Etna area for fine wine. So
Yeah.
we have 3 producers of the Bianco upstairs. I chose the Nicosia. We also have the red version, Etna Rosso, which is made from a grape called Nerello Mascalese.
Easy for Ray to say.
That's phenomenal. Very Pinot, actually a combination of Pinot and maybe Barolo,
Okay.
where the two meet. So that's upstairs as well. And stay tuned, because on Tuesday, when the newsletter goes out, I will be doing a little wine blog, if you will, on Mount Etna and the wines that are kind of.
Just don't blow your top, Ray.
So we're not.
That was a
reinventing-
volcano joke for all of
Yeah.
you that weren't.
You're really
wondering
up the
about it.
ante.
You're up the ante.
So
on it.
That's a
basically,
neat
Ryan-
joke, which are both anagrams of Etna, if you want to do that.
Yeah. Oh, there you
So
go.
basically, we're not going to reinvent Sicily and Mount Etna. We're going to rediscover it.
Rediscovery.
So that'll be next Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay.
If you
Fair
don't
enough.
get our newsletter, you should go to juliusliquors.com, sign up for the newsletter. We don't share our emails with anybody. The only stuff you're going to get is from us. So it's between you and us. So,
Yeah.
all right, Ray, you want to stay? Can you stay today?
Sure.
All right. Cause I got a lot of stuff to get to, Randall.
Right.
And-
tying into wine, it looks like something's coming up on the 15th. Is that?
Well, it's a big week. Next week is sort of a big week, and I wanted to sort of like just touch base on a couple things that are going on. January 14th, we have Aberlour is back, and a lot of people's favorite Scottish whiskey. We've been out of a couple of the expressions for like 6 months. Some of these things, but it is coming back. Paulo Pereira is coming in. He's one of Lock and Key Society's favorite guys out there. We're going to do the full available lineup of Aberlour Scotch from Scotland. Aberlour 12, 16, 18, the Abuna Dialba, and the Casa Amanga, I think is how it's pronounced. But we're doing all of them. We'll come Wednesday night and you'll know. It's $10 to go, but they'll actually give you a $10 gift card when you come. So I think that means free, but we'll see about that. Then on the 15th, the wine department is doing a presentation for Thursday. We've taken the day back from Thor. It's no longer Thursday. It's Thursday. And that is going to be Wines by the Fireside. We actually have a fireside here, and it's really weird to think, but we actually do. It's Boston Wine Company is coming down and doing some Willamette Valley, some Ken Wright, some Chasing Lions, some Ancient Peaks, and Zeneto. You're talking about Italy. They're doing that. That's from 7 to 8. Now, but the big thing I wanted to say, because it's a week from today, that is the Saturday, January 17th, from 2 to 4. From 2 to 4 is Dry January Festival. So you talked about Dry January, Randall. We're going to actually have a festival down here, and it has. When I say like, we was like, oh, it was going to be this little tiny festival, and we're going to do non-alcoholic things. No, it's like something like up to like 30, 40 tables now. The wine department has some, the beer department does, the spirits department does, and we're all in charge individually of those non-alcoholic things that we sell. We have a whole room full of it. It's a lot. It's really cool. It's from 2 to 4. You can taste as much as you want because there's no alcohol in it. So you can try them all if you want to sit here for the 2 hours and try them. But there's some really interesting things coming down the pike that are very, very tasty, very, very good. And if you are one of those people that are into Dry January, next week is sort of your Super Bowl, as they might say.
Yeah,
So come down and see it.
I think that you want to get in on this before the wave comes through. I mean, this is kind of the future of a lot of flavor and both
Alternative beverages.
and having an option, right?
Yeah.
As you move forward,
Right.
some of your guests, people coming to your parties may not want alcohol in their drinks in the future.
Right.
But also, you need to have just a good working knowledge about how all those flavors work, and taking the alcohol component out is
Absolutely.
very
30
helpful. in that.
seconds.
So, yeah.
Matter of fact, if you tried the Guinness Zero, Man, that's tough to distinguish from the regular Guinness. I got to tell you. So there's some really cool things to taste and try out, and you'll be able to try them, quite a few of them, for nothing. It's a free event. Come on down. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Full
So,
week of stuff. We
10
got
seconds.
Aberlour, we got the Boston Wine Company, we got Dry January, but we'll be back
wrap
with
it up.
more of this information when we return back from this commercial break. Please stay tuned to It's the Liquor Talking here on WCRN.
all right. So
You're out.
we're out, but we're not down.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No, since Ray's here, I figured we'd try this. This is the it's a spritz. It's a non-alcoholic spritz from Azenta.
You have a puzzled look on your face.
I do because it's got puzzles on it.
Yeah. Jigsaw
So,
pieces on
It's
the
big
can.
up pitches on the can. It's like it's no alcohol. So I figured we'd try this. This is supposed to be basically a take on a spritz. I'm gonna give this to Johnny after I pour you guys some. I don't know if we're supposed to shake this or not. So I think it's got carbonization, so I don't want to go too crazy. Oh, it looks like a spritz. Looks like an Aperol spritz. That sort of color, for those who
Yeah.
are familiar. That little
Orange.
orangey. There you go. I give it to Johnny. No alcohol. So I figured during the breaks and stuff like that, I want to try a couple of these things before we get to the big event. I didn't even know if this one's going to be here, but I figured we'd just try stuff. Smells good.
That tastes like a spritz.
That's not bad.
If they were giving out gold medals for this category, would it be
What, Mark Spritzer?
Yeah.
I knew. Come on. You're going to set up those grapefruits like that, Randall. I'm going to hit him out of the park.
So I'm a big fan of Italian
pretty good.
sodas, which
Yes.
have a slightly bitter edge to them. This is going to sound
Much
weird to
like you.
people, but if you drink a lot of like Aperol or other kinds
Right.
of bitters that
Or
are,
aperitivos.
and this spritz is just reminiscent of that. If this had a little bit of sweet element to it, you would consider it closer to what a lot of those Italian sodas are. So
That's pretty good.
I do enjoy this flavor profile, but I think for some, it's a little bit of a leap.
Well, but let's put it this way, though. The whole point of non-alc drinks, right? Is it's supposed to taste like the alcohol counterpart. So you got to sort of be in. If you're not in the wheelhouse on that, then why bother?
Right.
I mean, there are some brands that are actually making like their own cocktail, which is really cool because it does taste really neat. And you know, it's one of those type of things that it tastes neat on its own, and you can just basically throw, you know, a garnish on it, and it looks like you're drinking a cocktail. I mean, that's sort of the point. But it is supposed to taste good too, right?
Yeah, I'm enjoying this. If you have a need for a
Yeah,
kind
why
of
taste something that's just like
thirst-quenching-
crappy? I mean, that doesn't even make
Oh, no,
any
I know,
sense,
but
right?
like one of the things that's interesting about this drink is this. I find that this is very like kind of thirst quenching.
It is because
Where
that
if
bitterness.
you're drinking a lot of non-alcoholic sodas or very
Right.
sugary things, it makes you thirstier. So, however this fits in your lineup or wherever it fits in the lineup, yeah, it's kind of a cool thing.
The only one I'll sort of give this a little bit of clue since we have a little bit of time. I'll give you one of those type of things is that there are non-alcoholic spirits. Okay, so spiritless spirits, I guess,
Right.
but they're not supposed to be meant to be drunk the same way. Like if you get one that's like a whiskey, it's a non-alcoholic whiskey. I would say that usually in the sort of this puzzle piece sort of reminded me that it fits into a cocktail like
Oh,
whiskey would. But if you're going to just put it on the rocks and drink it straight, it's not going to taste like whiskey. Is that clear?
Yeah, it just
You know
is,
what I mean?
it's kind of a weird way to work your head around it.
Right.
Because you would drink a spritz
All right, we're coming back.
socially or for hydration or for whatever,
Right.
right? This spritz, but you're not going to drink the spirits to get to the point. In fact,
Yes.
it's pointless.
It's pointless.
Yeah.
It's pointless. Yes. All right, you guys. When we come back, I want to get right to the question of the show.
Get when you mix a spirit specialist extraordinaire with Lord Supreme Commander of the Gardens. You get It's the Liquor Talking with Ryan Maloney and spirits medium Randall Bird. Live from the Jim Beam Cold Storage Studio in Julio's Liquors.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. It's the Liquor Talking. We're We're continuing to show over the break. We tried a non-alcoholic spritz in honor of our dry January festival, which is next weekend. But I thought that's cool. But let's get to the point. Let's get to the drink of the show this week.
Right.
All right. And this is a little bit different. I'm going to pour this for you.
I'd
Randall,
like to
hand it-
give you a what are those alerts called?
I don't
When
know.
they tell you that.
PSA.
No, but like a spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
This
Yeah.
has alcohol.
It does. It has many types of alcohol in it.
So-
That's what we're going to get to right now.
Okay.
So the drink of the show this week, and I'll give this to Johnny to do it. And I have actually all the stuff here, so you can take that, John. Is Bacta 1928, but it's a little bit different. It's actually our blend. We came up with this. We sat and we actually worked with the people at Bacta, and we came up with this special blend. And what it is, it's 60% straight rye. All right, and then it's 30% XO Calvados. All right, but that was done with a bourbon finish. So it's Calvados with a bourbon finish on it, and then it's 10% of 1973 Armagnac.
Yep.
And it has a little tiny bit, it's like this 1% somewhere in that Armagnac thing of 1928 Armagnac, and that's why it's called 1928. But we named this one Gatsby. And what the good part about this is it's a blending of spirits. So it adheres to no one. It's not a rye. It's not Calvados. It's not an Armagnac. It's a blend of all three. It's something totally new and totally different. And we did that with Ampersand. If you can remember a couple weeks ago, or before we left on vacation, that we did that, and we had one that was a blend of rye and Calvados. They had a cognac and was it cognac and rye? I think it was cognac and rye, right, Johnny? Blend, but they were blends of spirits. So try this, see what you think. And Randall, as in New England, what?
Well, what's in our coffee cups is nobody's business, but we have a long explanation about what this is. A combination of different alcohols combined in a product called Bacta. And 1928 is the label name, The Great Gatsby, or The Gatsby, just The Gatsby.
The Gatsby.
It is pretty great, though.
All right, so totally different. Studio audience, what do you think? Studio audience has already got their cups out for more. That's how.
Right. And I just wanted to preface this. About 3 years ago, we started working on projects that would allow blending because we saw that the future of flavor was not in the single barrel, singular taste, but combination of different flavors that you couldn't normally associate with each other. And the first iterations were within categories, meaning a bourbon that might have different types of bourbons or agings on the bourbon. And then it quickly extended out to different types of products. So what you're seeing is the extension of stuff that we have been like kind of big fans of several years ago. And the Bacta is just one of the examples of where we think some of the future is heading. As you're seeing massive amounts of inventory just languishing in the future because overproduction in the past few years, I think you're going to see a combination of these excellent elements to get the flavor.
All right. So so there's going to be. I have the question of the show, and the question of the show is actually going to link in to sort of what you hinted on, Randall, and something that happened to me this week. So I want to get into this. So let's do the larceny question of the show, and see how that goes first. And Ray is here, so he'll be able to help you along. True or false? A Super Tuscan is another name for a Magnum. True or false? A Super Tuscan is another name for a Magnum. Randall says it's false. Ray?
For a Magnum,
Yeah.
I would say false.
False. Okay, studio audience? False. Okay. You're all correct. It is false. The name Super Tuscan was coined to describe wines from Tuscany made in less traditional ways. These wines tend to be bigger and more powerful than other Tuscan wines and can be quite expensive. In addition, the traditional Tuscan grape, Sangiovese, these wines may also include grapes such as Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot. Okay?
Okay.
So you got the question right. All right.
Whereas Magnum is a size.
Is a size. Magnum is a size. Okay.
Yeah.
So you
Of
got
a
the
bottle.
question right, and we just tried.
Not a condom.
Actually, isn't it
Well,
a
it
dessert treat too? But this led to something that happened this week that I wanted to talk about, and a lot of it centers around the fact that we know a lot of inside baseball, and we sort of understand how a lot of this stuff works. And I saw this thing on Threads, and a person said, "I just tried a bourbon with a wine finish, and I didn't even think that was you could even do that. I never heard of something like that before. That seems to me like maybe it can't be done by law." And they had a lot of questions about it. So everybody started, a lot of people jump in and they're like, I'm like, of course I jump in. I'm like, no.
What forum was this on?
Threads.
Oh, okay.
And the platform. And I said, Angel's Envy was really one of the first ones that got it sort of like.
Oh, you're pointing it. You know.
Yeah, I was pointing it, but that's okay. Was sort of got the government to agree that finishing in a port wine cask would not deviate it from it actually being bourbon. So it's bourbon finished in a port wine cask, and it's an addition. And by the law, it was allowed. So
they made the bourbon following all the laws.
And then you add a finish
and then
to it.
After it, they.
Right. So I mean, Scotland's been doing this for like hundreds of years, where they're using different barrels as finishing barrels or even aging barrels, but in other products, especially like sherry and port and other wine, Marsala, Madeira, like a lot of fortified, but there's a lot of people that are doing it in red wine casks, reconstituted red wine casks, even Chardonnay and white wine casks. So this has sort of been something that's been going on in Europe for a lot longer than here in the United States. Bourbon started doing it, and so you do have those ones. Our good friend Macaulay Minton does a fantastic job. You want to take it to the nth degree. Look at what he does with Dark Arts and finishes and actually blending of finishes. So now somebody says, well, I wonder if they could do that in wine. Well, Ray will tell you there's wine that's
Finished wine in wine barrels?
In bourbon barrels.
Oh, yeah.
And, and then we got somebody chimed in and said, no, they can't do that. They already have contracts with wine to get barrels for themselves and stuff like that. And it's like, no, these are projects done and fun stuff too. And then, so here's when we dive down the rabbit hole. And somebody says, well, that's a gimmick and it doesn't really constitute what it is. And I said, well, here's my sort of take on this. And this is where it sort of comes into play. Is it a gimmick or is it innovation? To me, gimmick, and gimmick, as John pointed out to me earlier too, is like gimmick doesn't really denote good or bad. But a gimmick to me is something where you don't actually change anything with the product itself, but you repackage it or tell somebody something about it that really doesn't matter. Like if you say like a wine, no sulfites added. Well, you don't add sulfites anyways. Or if they put it in a bottle that was shaped like a lighthouse or a lobster or something like that, something to get you, or it lit up, the bottle lit up to get your attention to it, right? That to me would be a gimmick. You didn't change anything. You just changed like packaging or wording so that would get somebody to buy it. Innovation to me is more like you just changed the product. If you're aging in a bourbon barrel, you've changed the flavor and the way that product is, and that to me is innovation, not just a gimmick.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that, or would you think?
Well, I'm going to
off the base.
Right. Hold your headphones on tight.
Okay.
I'm about to blow
All right.
All right.
What?
So what nobody's talking about, which I have always found fascinating, you're going to see how this dovetails in just a second.
Are we
Scottish
taking the short
singles,
road or are we taking the long road?
120 Scottish distilleries making single malt.
Yeah.
Every single one of them double distills 100% malted barley. There's no mash bill change. And yet you can taste the difference of every single one of those distilleries.
Correct.
So the production process is pretty much invisible. By the time the grain gets distilled, it's pretty much invisible. How do you distinguish two distilleries right next to each other using the same field, same atmosphere, same terroir or provenance, as you like to call it? How do you do that? And the answer is there's a variety of ways that you have to in order to be able to sell your Scottish single malt whiskey in the marketplace around the world and distinguish yourself from the two distilleries on each side of you.
Okay.
Right? So is that a gimmick, or is that just keeping your distillery alive inside the rules of the category.
I always put that in the identity sort of category.
Right.
It's an
And so-
identity.
So within your core identity, they're going to have expressions, right? So
Correct.
Aberlour, which we just talked about a few minutes ago, has a 12, 15, Abuna, whatever all the different expressions are, because they want to give the fans of their product ways that they can showcase that. Again, 100% malted barley, everything that comes off the still, you could put a blindfold on and could not tell the taste difference from Cardew just down the road or another distillery just over the hill, right? And yet every time it comes into the bottle, you get a different type of flavor. And within the Abuna lineup or whatever
Yep.
the product is, you have different variations on that. Now, Jim Beam does this by their mash bill and a bunch of other things that they're doing, including aging. But the third piece of that puzzle
Right.
is the influence of wood, which has 60% of the effect on the flavor. So now I have to ask, if your core identity is the same and you're trying to distinguish yourself from other bourbons,
Right.
at what point, if you've added peanut butter into the mix, I would argue that you've not made a bourbon. It's a bourbon-based whiskey.
Right.
But the flavor is defining it as peanut butter, not as bourbon. Subtle shades of that, including brown rice and other experiments that we've seen in bourbon, because they're using that in the mash bill, are making unique and different flavors.
Right.
Is it a gimmick, or are you trying to push the envelope of what you can do within the law
1 minute.
to make flavor? And I think it's the latter part.
Do you think it's right? But
Pe-
would you
People
agree with it?
should be allowed to move and
Right.
experiment,
Exactly.
but
Well-
it's not gimmicky because you're trying to put out the best product
Correct.
you can within the rules.
Right. Correct. And so there are gimmick things you can do, but to me, aging them or finishing in a barrel doesn't necessarily have to be one. I mean, there's a bunch of wines that do this, right? But I pulled one down,
30 seconds.
Ray, out of the section because Robert Mondavi Private Selection does a bourbon barrel aged Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay, you couldn't get like old school more than Robert Mondavi. That's like one of the innovators in California is doing this. Is it a gimmick or is it innovation? No, I think it's a
10
flavor,
seconds.
a totally different flavor thing.
Yeah.
And we'll continue this when we come back because Ted says we got to take a break.
That's right. Slaves to the radio dictators that tell us that we have to take a
Ted.
commercial break.
His name is Ted.
Yes. And we'll be back on the other side of this commercial break. We'll continue with some Facebook Live offerings on the video segment of this. But please stay tuned. It's the Liquor Talking here on WCRN, AM 830 on your dial. We'll be right back.
All right. I want to continue that a little bit.
Knows how to push it.
I want to continue that a little bit when we get back on the air. But in the interim, I want to tell you guys about some stuff that's going on that won't be on the radio right just yet. Because I don't want everybody to know about it yet, I guess. So if you're listening to our podcast or whatever, like you'll know. One of the things is for the 29th of January, we are now working on a Robert Burns dinner. So there will be a Robert Burns dinner. We're working on that with the great folks down at Cold Harbor, which is a brewery right down the road from us. And they have a full liquor license, and we're going to be doing. Randall is working with them closely. We got Uncle Charlie involved. We're going to be doing a Burns supper, with Scotch
On the
Burns
premises
supper.
at Cold Harbor.
Yeah, that's coming
right
up.
in town. And it looks like the menu is going to be pretty cool. We're ironing out some of the details, but the seating is going to be kind of limited. So if you're interested in this event,
That's why I'm giving some people a heads up.
right, you want to book it, and then we will flush out the full details of all the whiskeys and possibly the menu as you get closer. But you're not going to want to miss this event.
If you already follow us, Julio's Liquors, we'll probably announce something. But if you're really interested, I'd also maybe start following Cold Harbor Brewery in town because they might pop it up quicker as soon as they get the menu all squared away. They have the pricing and stuff down. They might pop it up quicker. So keep that in mind.
And please keep at least 50 feet between you and Cold Harbor if you are following them. Otherwise, it gets creepy.
Okay, that was creepy.
Yeah. All right, 29th though. Like that's
The
a weird
29th.
thing because
Yeah, the
the official date for Burn Supper is 25th.
Right.
But this is going to be
The
a
29th,
fantastic
just a little
event.
bit.
No, it's close.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that you might be able to get 2 of these in.
I'm not getting 2 of those in.
No. Okay.
Are you kidding? We're getting 1 because the other part of this, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit later in the show, is we're gearing up because our big whiskey week
30
is coming
seconds.
up. Go Whiskey Week is the last weekend in February. It's going to actually go from the 23rd to March 1st. So I get stuff already lined up, and I'm going to start telling you about some of them because I just got some stuff done yesterday. That's fantastic.
This is the sneak preview.
Yeah, sneak preview. I'll let everybody know when we get
Okay.
back on the air. But
All right,
All right.
here we go.
here we go. Ted said we were going, but I don't believe him.
The concierge of all things alcohol, Ryan Maloney, and the medium of spirits, Randall Bird, join forces every week to bring audio nourishment to a parched audience. Live from the Jim Beam Cold Storage Studios in the heart of Julio's Liquors, Route 9 in Westboro, it's the Liquor Talking.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to It's the Liquor Talking right here on WCRN AM 830. And we are broadcasting from Julio's Liquors on Route 9 in Westboro, down in the Metro Station, which is the lower level of Julio's. Next week is it's going to be the alternative beverage or non-alcoholic station, because we're going to have a dry January festival down here next week on January 17th from 2 to 4. Wines, beers, and spirits, all with no alcohol, alternative beverages. It's going to be a lot of fun. You want to check it out. All right. So wrapping this sort of up, do we sort of say, like, pushing the envelope? I hate for people to categorize that as a gimmick when it's actually innovation. And I think that most people can tell the difference between the two. Do you agree with my sort of like definition and sort of like general thesis?
Yeah.
My dissertation
Well-
would be that
Yeah. I
weird
guess,
stuff
I guess,
is
I guess what the public doesn't really understand with both wine, whiskey, beers, there are laws or conventional rules that you can't really break.
right.
So if
I
this
wanna
is a
bend
Cabernet
those.
Sauvignon, you can't put, root of sarsaparilla make a wine from it
No,
and
no.
call it a Cabernet
Right.
Sauvignon. So if you're meeting the requirements and the laws, I think that producers who are ultimately looking to try and give the consumer the best possible tastes and explore different flavors should have a little wiggle room within the law, but they have to maintain the law.
Yep.
Once you start putting a different grape in here and labeling it Cabernet Sauvignon, then yeah, you can't. That's a foul. But there's nothing that has ever said that a Cabernet Sauvignon can't go into a bourbon barrel, which is a type of barrel that's just been used for something else. Which, by the way, in wine, I guarantee has been used over the course of history. They've reused barrels. They don't just
Right.
get rid of it as soon as it's empty. Each season they would probably fill it with a new thing. So where and how those barrels are moving around, you could find the logic as to why this should be able to be put in another
and
barrel.
usually they're done as projects. So usually they're
Right.
done as projects. Usually between a winery and a distillery are coming out with something that sort of like, will highlight both. And it is sort of like, listen, you want people that are wine drinkers to try bourbon and bourbon drinkers to try wine. It's mutually beneficial. There's nothing wrong with that. But let's go to the authority, El Rey himself. Ray,
Yeah.
let me just ask you a question. Would finishing barrel like in bourbon of a Cabernet Sauvignon,
Let
gimmick
me
or
pass the
innovation?
baton
Yeah,
to Ray.
gimmick or innovation?
Innovation.
Innovation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, you've had these; they're good.
Yeah. I mean, so it's Mondavi was the first to do this. There's about maybe a handful that have also done it. But as a matter of fact, not just in red wine, but Mondavi's also experimented with Chardonnay
Okay,
with the bourbon finish. So it's,
it creates a
Randall said,
different
within
ring.
the law, within the rules of making wine. Sure, why not do it?
Okay.
So it's innovation.
Will we all agree that a lit bottle, the whole bottle lights up, and you've changed nothing in the wine? And matter of fact, you probably put terrible wine in there. Would that be a gimmick?
Yes.
Lighting up a bottle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you this:
Yeah.
Goldschlager.
Yes.
Gimmick? Yeah.
Total gimmick.
Putting
you don't.
flakes of gold into
doesn't
it has
change
no
the-
part of the process.
Right.
Nothing.
You know, it could be taken out, and you would still have the exact same product.
Right.
It would taste. By the way, it would taste the same. Your poop would look a little different, but that's another story for another day.
Does the white wine in the bourbon barrels look darker?
Yes.
Yeah.
It pulls color from the
Pull
wood,
color.
just like
Right, yeah.
a spirit would. Yeah.
All right. So, so
What's
in the
an
in the
off-white?
ultimate argument, because it's just a rabbit hole after rabbit hole that social media creates, and and the disagreements can go far and wide. But I was insulted because the guy goes, "Well, you're in whiskey, and I'm in wine." Like, okay, I've done that, been there, done that, sir.
I hear your wine.
I hear you're
Let's
whining,
drink
but
some whiskey.
it phases me not. You're whining. Well, because it's just one of those type of things. Is don't sit in the category and say like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, it cannot possibly happen." Because without White Zinfandel, without some of the other stuff, without a lot of things that wine has done, there would be a lot less wine bought in the world today. So I never poo-poo anything that brings somebody to the category. I don't think
well, I know- I don't-
lit
I think-
bottles are not going to bring people to the category unless
So-
you just want to light up a room.
All right. While you're pouring the next
right.
kind of taste. So what happened with Fireball? Somebody added artificial cinnamon or natural flavor components of cinnamon or whatever, but definitely jumped from bourbon, right, and the flavors
Canadian whiskey.
into that flavor profile, into something that was somewhat artificially, and yet it changed the category in a way
Yep.
that there are people who love Fireball. These people obviously are
Can we go
had some kind of head injury.
gimmick to innovation?
No, but I'm just saying that you have to be able to explore
Right,
the
right,
category
exactly.
and push
No,
it.
no.
How would you have a weeded bourbon if everybody only made high rye bourbons?
Well, that's the other thing. Like again, we get into these things where we understand some of these things that I don't, and we trap ourselves because we don't get that everybody else doesn't sort of have the same background, so they don't sort of give. We say like high rye, correct? What's high rye? There's no definition of high rye. Because if you have two mash bills and use one that's at this level, 20% rye, and have another one that's 21% rye, the 21% is now your high rye. And here, I'll give you a good example. Four Roses has two recipes that they use. One is their regular recipe, and the other is their high rye. Both of those are higher in rye than most other people's mash bills.
Right.
So it's only high rye in comparison to them.
And their gimmick is they use one-story warehousing
Yes,
specifically to drive other people crazy.
that's true. That's true. That's
Anyway.
that's a fact.
That isn't. I mean, it's just how you're.
No, it's not.
splitting
We're
up
just
the-
kidding around.
how you split the
it is
definition,
true.
and then and of course the internet is designed to start some.
Oh, and you put a
Trash
picture
talk.
of a picture of orange out there, and the first thing you get is like, what do you have something against oranges? I mean,
Well,
what about tangerines?
That's
Yeah,
not
you
even.
don't-
That's
you don't
not
like
even-
those?
That's a clementine.
See, you're making
Stop talking about it
my point. Hey, I just poured for everybody, and then Johnny poured for the studio audience. Tip top, proper cocktails, penicillin. I think everybody's been getting sick lately. Time to get some penicillin. It's Scotch whiskey, lemon, ginger, and honey. All good, all really nice stuff in there. But Tip Top makes some. This is one of the new ones out, so I wanted to try it because I like penicillin. Not the drink, the drink, not shots.
Yeah.
Well, shots, yes, but the drink of the shots. Yeah.
All right.
You know where I'm going with
Let's
this.
just for our radio listeners, Tip Top puts out a small can, right?
Yes,
And
They
so
they're 100 milliliter cans. This is 23%. They're all different. So 46 proof, which is a good stiff drink, if you ask me.
which I think
Sam,
is
this is-
like
this
one
is
of the
off of Sam
perfect
Rock.
sizes that's out there for a premixed cocktail.
Yeah.
Because for what you're going to pour or share with somebody, you don't need to have like this massive. But from the Deadpool joke, this can makes my hand look massive.
most cans do, Randall. You're 6'7". Most cans do. So here's the thing: is I'm very lazy, and I'm the first person to admit I can't have John come to my house all the time and make me drinks because John makes
Right,
fantastic drinks.
Write that down, John.
So, but I do have like some of these Tip Tops. I've found some of the best ones out there, and they're true to form. They make really good mixed drinks, and they're the same every time too. So I keep some of these in my refrigerator. So what if I'm feeling lazy and I don't feel like having something I want to mix drink, I can just pull one of these out, shake it, put it on ice, and I'm done. And it comes out like this. Do you guys who likes penicillins?
Right.
The drink, not the shots.
So what's
Oh, the shots of the
average
drink. Wait a minute.
price of the tip tops?
Like $5, $6.
$5-6,
$6,
and you can
$6.
have them in there. So let's say John's up on the roof cleaning the leaves out of your gutter, and you're like, John, come here, make me a cocktail. And
Yes.
he can't hear you.
I
'Cause at the
can't.
same
Yeah.
time, he's leaf blowing in one
Yeah,
hand,
he's,
cleaning
one
out
hand,
the
yeah,
gutters
yeah.
with the other,
Well,
washing the car,
washing the car
and
at the
then
same time,
you
long-
can just reach into your
Yeah.
mini fridge, which is now under your
under my
sofa
chair. That's under my chair.
in the man cave,
Yes.
and just have a cocktail on the spot. Yeah.
So if you like really good cocktails, they make a jungle bird. A jungle bird is very red cocktail because it has like a Campari component to it. Very red. Everybody, anytime you order them out, like all of a sudden you get this sweet cocktail. They're not sweet. It's not sweet at all. It's actually bitter. They make a jungle bird that's like dead on, like one of the best jungle birds I think I've ever had at a bar or not. So,
They do an authentic representation of a cocktail about a fictitious bird.
Mhm.
Okay, there we go.
I understand now. You understand when you're picking up what I'm putting down. That's great. All right, thank you. All right, perfect. What do you want to try next? We got so much stuff to get to.
Well, I'm looking up here. What?
1 minute.
We got a 1
Okay.
minute. Green can.
Green can. Also up here, we might.
Well, we'll do those during the break.
Okay.
All right. What else you want to try? We only got like a minute.
I don't know. Why is this open?
I don't know. Let's do that.
Let's do it. Under pressure, we just grab
Well,
for the nearest thing.
It's
This is
it's
whole
yeah.
tip-top
It's
market,
rye.
right?
It's rye January. This is a cognac finished Sagamore rye, finished in parked cognac barrels. This was a project that was done between us and
30
Binny's of
seconds.
Chicago. So as we go into break, I will pour you, since it's rye January, I will pour you guys each some rye whiskey aged in a cognac barrel.
Now, is this the original or is this the newer version of this?
This is the one, a parked cognac barrel that we did. This is a U.S. mail project.
Second.
Not a rye.
No, this is not a rye. It
Randall,
is a
did you
rye,
get-
but not a rye.
Randall, is this a gimmick or an innovation?
Innovation.
This is innovation.
Innovation.
Does anybody get one? Did everybody get one? Got one?
Yep,
Brand- you
I
got
do.
one? All right. Or an extra. Who cares? All right, we'll be right back.
Yeah. We're going to need a break after that.
All right, sip on that.
Oh, that was a vote of confidence.
Sip on that. Try that. See what you think.
I mean, are they gimmicky with your crazy grape varietal from the
It's a
slopes
good.
of Mount Etna? No, it's just that's what they have on hand to make the product, right?
Exactly.
Parch. It's an agave cocktail, right? But this one is a non-alcoholic one. And it has cucumber, agave, bitter lemon, and aloe. This is called Sedona Spritz, infused with desert botanicals and adaptogens. Yes, it's just the way that the typeface. John, you had a hard time reading that one too. So this is like an alternative beverage type thing. We're gonna have these. I believe they're gonna be here next week.
So is this an agave spirit or they're using the flavor of agave?
They're using the flavor
actual-
agave because this is non-alcoholic.
Aloe, agave, some types of lilies are succulents.
Yep.
So a lot of people kind of confuse them with
They are,
cactuses,
yes.
but-
An agave is is a member of the lily family and not the cactus family. Correct?
Closer. Yeah,
Correct.
closer to the lily than a cactus.
Definitely pick up that cucumber in here, huh?
Yeah, but good. It's got a good finish to it, almost like a salinic finish to it. It's got that cucumber, then it's sort of a salty sort of finish to it. It's got like almost a lime, or that bitter lemon comes off as a lime to me.
But this is one of those things. Is this innovation or is this a gimmick?
Well,
Ryan,
it's not. It's not alcoholic, so it's all a gimmick.
Ryan,
Yes, Ted.
Pointless,
Ryan.
as I would
Yes,
say.
Ted.
the Merriam-Webster dictionary
Good.
definition of gimmick
Yes.
is a mechanical device
Yes.
for security and dishonestly controlling gambling apparatus.
Ah.
B, an ingenious or novel mechanical device.
Right.
2, an important element such as something that wouldn't be required normally. B, an ingenious and usually new scheme or angle. And C, a trick or device used to attract business or attention.
Correct. And Ted just gave us all the definitions of gimmick. They also have to fit into what I'm saying
he get
about
paid
gimmick.
by
Yeah, he
Webster?
gets paid by Webster. It's a kickback. You get to use this on the show today. This is actually pretty good. I like
I'm
this.
sorry, I'm not programmed to respond in that area.
This this drink is actually really neat because it's not trying to be anything. It's just it tastes this way on its own. But I would like this would be like if you put this on in a glass of ice and put a
would
lime
be
on the
so
top
neat.
of it. It would it would be look like a cocktail. And this is actually
It's
quite
neat
good.
because it doesn't have ice.
Yes, that's the definition of neat. It doesn't have ice,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
but it's only
I think
slightly
that,
carbonated. It's pretty
So-
good.
so this, what's interesting about this month is that you can explore some tastes and flavors,
Right.
right, and possibly healthier, possibly in areas that you wouldn't normally like kind of play with that flavor, and then you can now bring this back into your repertoire for the summer because
Sure.
I think that
That would be
different
great.
things that you add into it as a cocktail would be fantastic.
So what you're saying, Randall, is
Okay.
enjoy these things if they taste really good, and then add alcohol later.
Yes. What I'm always saying is that the exploration of flavor, taste, the sensual or sense-based thing that you're doing
Yeah.
should take precedence over what I think many people find is the point of alcohol,
Right.
getting
what's-
hammered or whatever.
Right.
And so anytime that you can remove different components and taste and sense things in a
30
different
seconds.
way will overall enhance your ability to do that with the alcohol added. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Alcohol.
But there's Ish. That's like one of the companies upstairs makes a mojito, a non-alcoholic mojito.
Yeah.
It's like really a mojito soda. It tastes fantastic, and I'm
All right,
like,
10
man, this
seconds.
would really be
Here we go.
good with rum. Defeating the entire purpose.
Right.
But it is really good. So let's see. Let's see what happens. There we go.
Broadcasting live from the Jim Beam Cold Storage Studio in the heart of Julio's Liquors, Route 9 in Westboro, it's the Liquor Talking with Ryan Maloney and Spirits Medium, Randall Bird.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to It's the Liquor Talking. Hey, we have just in the last segment today. I wanted to try this because the Christmas spirit has left the building. No, it hasn't.
It's
We
still
still
on the
have
shelf,
them.
right?
Yeah, we still have some. Old Patero, San Francisco, 9-year-old Christmas whiskey, aged 9 years, Christmas spirit. This is a 700 milliliter bottle. It is 50%, so it's 100 proof. And what this is very interesting. This is, do you guys remember Ankerstein Christmas Ale? They stopped making that. Ankerstein is no longer in existence. 2015. This is 2015 of that Christmas ale that was distilled and put into barrels for 9 years. So this is something totally different in that.
Gimmick or innovation?
I would say novelty, because it's something that, like, look, everybody doesn't sort of understand is you sort of, not you do, sort of make a beer to distill to make into whiskey. And as I joke all the time is whiskey is what beer wants to be when it grows up. So to take the beer itself and then distill it into a whiskey, I think is a really cool and novel idea to do, because some of them don't translate very well. And
Right.
it's usually because of the hoppiness. The hops really sort of mess things up. With
Oh, I thought you were going the other way.
the Christmas ale would not have that really in it. And just try this and sort of see what
Okay.
you guys think.
So when you were saying that, I was thinking, yeah, there are a lot of beers that are awful that make great whiskeys.
That's
Not
true,
the
too.
other way around. Because if you ever drank corn beer,
Yes.
it's terrible. But it makes a fantastic product.
Right.
But sometimes when you have to distill out hops and other types of flavors, it can become problematic if you're using a true beer that was just decarbonated,
Right.
degassed, and then put into a still.
Right. Well, see what you think of this. I think this This is the first time this has been available on the East Coast. I mean, it's running out at this point. There's not a lot of this left. And
Well,
they sent some
it's the
cases.
last of the 2015,
2015,
age 9 years,
Right.
and unless they laid a bunch down for like a 15-year
and I don't
age
think they did.
statement, this will be the last window into that.
Yeah, so I think it crosses two paths. You get the people that are into beer and the people that are into whiskey. This sort of hits both things, both notes. What do you guys think of the flavor, though? What do you?
I like it.
Yeah.
It's reminiscent of a rye, which Old Potrero always has
Right. They always did. They
emphasized,
right.
right? So it is, if I didn't know what the story and the history of this was behind it, and you just put this blindly in, I think it's got some flavors that I would be like, I'm not really loving
Not
this.
sure about.
But understanding what it is, yeah, it's a nice pour.
Right. Studio audience, yes, no. It's got a
Yeah.
weird beer back end. Yeah, yeah.
So if you were tasting that and uninitiated to what the whole story was, you might be like, oh, I would prefer to, I was thinking I was going to get some vanilla or caramel notes or something that aren't really prominent in this. And, but I think it's cool for what it is. And I like experiments, including ones that don't work out well, because they show
Right.
you, or
It
if
shows
you
you a
put
path.
them in the lineup,
Shows you a path.
right, you can
Right.
understand the whole
I
category
like this.
better.
I thought it sort of neat. And I actually liked a lot of the flavors that were going on here. It's super cool packaging, so that'd be gimmicky, but super cool packaging,
Why?
really cool. Because it's got the Christmas tree and stuff on it. It's got it. I mean, it's got the same tree that the Anchors team had on it and stuff like that. It's really. I mean, the bottle's cool looking, and I like the flavors that it's given off.
Yeah, and
That-
just
those-
after
those
we
spices.
just did some stuff with Italian bitter spritzes
Right.
and things like that, it definitely moves towards that kind of category.
These
as
are
well.
one and done. These are like, that it's not going to be like around. It's like it's really cool to do. Now, I saved the one thing for last today because you won't be able to taste anything else after we're done with this. So here, give this to.
Oh boy, this is never usually a good sign.
No, it is a good sign. It is a
Okay.
good sign because it's a story to tell. So, if those who don't know, we've done several single barrels of Lafroig. PX I Love You, PX I Love You Too, which were sherry finished barrels, and they offered a barrel out to us for Lafroig ordered another barrel, and they sent us a bunch of samples. And Johnny and I were down here. I'm like, oh, I don't know, because they're expensive. They're like $2.50 a bottle. I mean, it's not cheap. But they're usually very good. But I'm like, I don't know if we'll find anything. We sort of did it. So I said, you start opening them up and we'll go through them. John goes, you really need to try these. And I'm like, oh. And we tried them. We went through them. And I hit this one and I was like, oh my God. All right. So I really want to do this whiskey. This whiskey is very, very good. So what basically I talked Lafroig into doing was making this as an exclusive to Massachusetts barrel, so that other people could enjoy this across the state.
Right.
And it is a 11-year-old Lafroig in an Amontillado cask.
Yeah.
So, Ray, you want to tell everybody what Amontillado is?
Amontillado is a sherry. It has characteristics of nuttiness and caramel.
That's pretty spot on. So now, having a cast of Amontillado immediately went to like Edgar Allan Poe cast of Amontillado, but like it wasn't going to be for us. It wasn't going to be Lock and Key. But I really thought that this one should have a name, but I didn't want to do the obvious. So I decided that we would name it. We would expand it a little bit and go from one of the characters in the book, which is Fortunato, of course, is the one that gets put into the wall because he's an expert wine taster, and that's his sort of thing. It's sort of a little bit of a showboat, whatever. He thinks he knows everything about everything. And so the name of this barrel is going to be Fortunato's Folly. And it's going to be available in Massachusetts. It's coming very shortly. Within probably the next couple of weeks, you're going to start seeing it out there. We're going to be getting ours in because we are taking the lion's share of this. But it's going to be out. And so I had the sample that we tasted.
Yep.
I figured I'd let all you guys taste, especially the studio audience, taste it and see what they thought. Now this is a peated whiskey, so this is why.
A peat, a little hint of smoke, but really the peatiness and the phenolic kind of quality comes through on this. Yeah, fantastic whiskey.
This is just so good. That caramel comes through. It almost goes salty and almost a salinic to it. Get that nuttiness to it. It just plays so well with the characteristics of Lafroig that we couldn't let this barrel go. I didn't want it to end up in another state where they wouldn't appreciate something like this. So I want to make sure Massachusetts had it. So what does the audience think? They seem to be enjoying it.
Yeah.
A couple of them are asking for more. There's a little.
Well,
There's
they
a
just
little bit
want
more
to.
in
They
there.
want to sample to make sure that
Just to make
they
sure
had a
to
good.
reconfirm what
Yeah.
they were tasting. So like the last thing, and so here's the cool part that I haven't said is I said we've been working on stuff for Go Whiskey Week, which is the last week in February. It'll start on probably the 23rd and go to March 1st. So I've been lining stuff up for each night. We'll have something every night. Friday night, which will be the 27th of February. That Friday night, I just got confirmation that we will actually have Simon's going to come. Brooking's going to be here from Lafroig, and we're going to have a Lafroig tasting in which this will be one of the whiskeys that we will try with everybody, along with some other great stuff. And that'll be the Friday night of Go Whiskey Week. So that's in the books now. I'll give you a couple other ones. The Tuesday night is going to be a dinner at Fireflies. Wednesday night is going to be Codswold English whiskey here at Julio's. Thursday night here at Julio's is also going to be Glen Scotia, and we're working on Breakfast in Asia on Saturday. We'll have a couple seminars on that day, and then we'll have the meet and greet, and we'll have the Grand Dram. It's going to be if you like whiskey,
seconds.
Julio's is your place to be. You got to check it out as soon as we start going. All right, Randall, want to get us out of here for the end of the first show of 2026?
That's right. If you're wondering, if you just stumbled across us, if you were forced into the trunk of a car and they were playing this broadcast, it's
We're
the
sorry.
Liquor Talking.
10 seconds.
And we are broadcasting live from WCRM. That's AM 830 on your dial. And please stay tuned for other shows, but we'll be back next week.
Yes, we will. And if you want to see this, go wherever you get your podcasts, such as Spotify, and look for It's the Liquor Talk, and you can hear back shows and this show later this week. All right, everybody.
Okay,
Thank
guys,
you.
don't forget to hang up,
I'm
Ryan.
going to hang up right
See
now.
you next week.
Bye, buddy.
I have hangups.